Hi guys, this is Tartan coming at you with another game of hardcore Minecraft, and we're just getting right back to it. We've got a village underneath the river, well, part of one, and we're gonna have more of one by the time we're done. We'll bring them some nice dried kelp blocks and anything that goes with that. We're gonna walk out of the house with one of the music discs, which is not done. We don't do that. But we're just gonna swoop on over. Now we do need to get some wood. So we're just gonna go over here where we won't notice that we've cut all the trees down because we've already cut down all the ones that are like kind of close, right? So we're just gonna go like over here, like, and then cut a bunch of these down and hopefully not upset the bees too much. You know, they've gone through enough. And then we'll put this in a chest somewhere and forget where it is later when we need to get more. We're just going to cut down a couple handfuls of trees. You know, we need more wood. We don't have enough. Like, unironically, we don't. We probably have got, like cherry wood and, like, you know, like pale oak and stuff, you know, the exotic and special woods, but just need some more of this. We'll leave that tree. It's a pretty nice place. We should have been cutting in this direction. Hello, Blizzard. How are you? Alright, that's plenty of wood. Yeah, plenty of it. But not a ton. It's just like 2 stacks, so might as well get some more. After all, there are plenty of trees in this forest. And they can all donate themselves to this project. And then we could plant a different kind of forest, one with prettier trees. I mean, birch is fine, but... And oak's fine too, but dark oak's better, we all know that, I think instinctively. And of course, cherry are vastly better trees, but like not better wood to work with necessarily. I mean, it's nice, but it is very pink, isn't it? Great in a leaf, but not necessarily awesome in wood. And now we're back down here. Are the villagers already gone? Oh no. What could possibly be killing them? Maybe they're like upstairs here and I just don't know. Where could they be? Oh man, not again. Okay, they're right here. That's good. All right, that's fine. What's up, guys? No, not my idol. You joking? Give me that back. Yeah. I'm like, nope, that doesn't work. I was like, can we leave a lantern just by itself? But you can't. Which, that makes sense. Alright, so let's think. What do these guys clearly want? A job that involves being up here. How best to secure this? Well, we'll make a bunch of oak planks. That'll work. A couple of sticks. Alright, how do you make a barrel? I don't know. Slabs. If I'm not mistaken, barrels are the job blocks for fisher people, the fishers of people, those who wish to fish for a living. We're gonna put the axolotl in there with our extra music discs. That's a good place for them, you know. Sure. This is getting out of control. Alright, now the horse is moving around. Not perfect. Alright, so what we need is a bucket that's not already wrapped up in being an axolotl carrier. This bucket. Anyway, and now they will have a nice place to fish around, to ply their trade. Hey Natasha, say at some point I'll have to do something about my inventories. Yeah, maybe. But I don't think I have to quit the game yet, you know? I can just keep on doing things how I do, and, 'cause I would much rather quit a game that I like than manage the inventory properly. There's this game, it was called, Death Stranding. It's made by Hideo Kojima's studio, and the guy who made Metal Gear and stuff. I don't know if everybody's on a name basis with him, but hi Drifter. Sorry, I didn't. I was so focused on this, I didn't see your wave. Hello. All right, so a nice barrel there and here, and now a couple of noble fishermen have emerged. And that's right, you can give them money and raw fish, and they'll cook the fish for you. But now they have these barrels, which you can just put junk into. Awesome. Yeah, that'll be good. We'll just put like dried kelp and tropical fish and rotten flesh and stuff into it. That'll this is great. Why didn't I think of this earlier? Hey, Mendicman. I'm like, did they fall through here? No. I'm like, I think this place is relatively safe-ish now-ish. Could try adding tropical fish to the pond. Oh, I did. I did. I added a lot of them. The dead ones in my inventory happened because I didn't know that Axolotl would go on a little happy fish killing spree, and oh boy, will they ever. Will they ever. Alright, so housing. The great thing about having a bunch of rock is that it doubles as most of the parts of a house. And you don't have to worry over much about building the rest of it. You just be like, oh, okay, now I've found a door. Amazing. And now there's a window? Oh, and now, you know, now it all falls apart. But it was gonna be fine, you know. I knew there was an area like that there. Well, do we have a gate on us? Yes. Like, you know, this doesn't work at all. Because in the main, it's not desirable that we even have access to this area on the right. So we're going to build a beautiful wall out of cobblestone, and no one will ever ask about it. You asked, did I quit Death Stranding because of it? No, I didn't even play it. I got distracted from the topic, but yes. But yeah, I didn't even play it. I know I said I was going to build the wall out of cobblestone, but I didn't have any in my inventory, so I elected to go with, you know, diorite, which I have dramatically less of. Hey, TinyZilla. It at first sounded like, oh, maybe that would be cool, and then immediately afterwards sounded like, man, I would just hate it, wouldn't I? It would be the thing I don't like to do. Because I don't mind, like, carry weight. As long as there's a way to deal with it quickly. Like in Fallout New Vegas, where you jam all the guns together, which is exactly how you scientifically repair things. Like, oh, your armor's broken, just throw some at it. There we go. Now it won't be like directly there. We don't want to have like a skeleton being able to get line of sight on these people when they're sleeping, right? I think that should be far enough away that it'll be safe. Probably. One bad sort of house in the bank. Mark it down. Do I have a door in here? Yeah, it's like I feel like I have a door in the bundle. Tennessee, you say you don't get speedrunning Minecraft. It's not a fast game for a reason. Well, I think, you know, I totally get it. I'm for it, right? You know, I think speedrunning is good. But you know, in any game, there's going to be people who don't see the benefit in doing it fast. But I think it's pretty cool to find ways to do it in games that people wouldn't expect it, as well as doing it in games that are sort of built for it. Because I actually really think that speedrunning presents an interesting sort of like philosophical, sociological way to look at games, because we often look at speedrunning if it's in a game that doesn't make sense to us, right? Because I've done this before, where it's like they're doing it wrong, you know, like you guys are playing The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time wrong. It makes sense to play Mario really fast, to me, you know, like you don't have to explain to me why speedrunning Super Mario Brothers makes sense. Of course it does. But when it comes to a game like Zelda, because I have my beliefs about what a game should be experienced like, I'm like, that one doesn't make sense. Or I used to do like low-level runs of Final Fantasy VI, my favorite game. Me and my friend would do that all the time. Or like artificially restricted runs in Pokemon, you know, where you only... Yeah, exactly, Natasha. Winning's what you want it to be. In Pokemon, where, you know, you had to get whatever Pokemon you got, and then, you know, like, if they ever fainted, you couldn't use them anymore. You know, just, like, restrictions like that. But, like, growing up, the only game that I, like, really cared about the time on was GoldenEye 64 and Mario Kart 64, because both of those games kept track internally. And in the case of 3 maps on Mario 64, you unlocked like a course ghost that you could race against, which was a way to brag because they were that easy to unlock. And in GoldenEye, every level on one of the difficulties had a time target, and when you broke the time target, you actually got a cheat unlocked, so you could get, you know, like big heads for everybody, or paintball mode, or everybody has rocket launchers, or super fast walking speed, or anything like that. And the way that you unlocked those in game, the only way to do it was by beating the time records that were the target there. But I would love to speedrun Minecraft. I'm just not good enough or focused enough. Because the only game that I speedrun, and I don't even really speedrun, the only game that I play for time sometimes is Celeste, and I've only done, you know, a few 80%, but I really enjoyed that. Celeste is, of course, built for speedrunning, in my opinion, but I believe it was explicitly meant to be that way. I don't think it's just my opinion. It certainly seems as though they wanted you to speedrun it. You know, there's an internal clock, all sorts of stuff like that. One problem you have is that you've kind of looked past the game, especially like Minecraft, is you don't have any imagination. Well, I don't think that's true. But maybe your imagination doesn't operate the way that other people expect it to, so it doesn't feel to you like you have it. But I'm sure you've got some. After all, we all do, not to be too reductive, but we've all got an imagination. Yeah, see, that I would call that lacking inspiration, not lacking imagination, because what you have is the ability, but you can't, like, see what you want to put together. And I have that happen all the time. Before this project, I very much was lacking in inspiration. I mean, not in creativity, I wouldn't say. Like, I can see some people stuck underground and immediately tell a story about them, you know. I consider myself certainly a creative person, but the way I play Minecraft isn't often, you know... I mean, I look at other people's worlds, and they just build, like, these beautiful things, and I, like, live in a shack, you know? I can buy buckets of cod. For 3 emeralds, I can buy iron buckets. That's amazing. Because I'll just load into a world and start telling a story to myself about, you know, what I see in the place that I'm in. And it's all the better in Minecraft that it's just me here. So I can't be, you know, intimidated by other characters telling me how they feel. After all, the villagers, you know, they're very nice and we like them, but they're not exactly, without doing some serious mental effort of the players, they're not exactly like narrative agents, we could say. But where I started and then diverged with the speedrunning thing. So Dan Olson made a wonderful... Dan Olson, he's the guy behind the YouTube channel Folding Ideas. He made a video called Why It's Rude to Suck at Warcraft. And it's maybe the best YouTube video I've ever seen. If you played World of Warcraft Classic, and he made another one like World of Warcraft Classic and What We Left Behind. He doesn't always make stuff about video games. He makes video essays about broader topics, but he talks about instrumental play and free play, where in speedrunning, you're seeing the game as an instrument to achieve your goals. You know? An instrumental Minecraft speedrunner person, you know, an instrumental player loads in and says, you know, where are the portals? Where am I going? Where's the stuff in the nether? I don't know how they do it, but this is what they do, right? You know, they figure out how they're going to do X, Y, and Z to achieve the goal of killing the Ender Dragon in the shortest amount of time. And that's an instrumental way to play. The game is an instrument by which you're achieving goals. And then you have creative and free play, which is what I do whenever I listen to a record with the Dark Oak Crime family, right? Whenever I name the turtles and swim around with them. Because while you might get an achievement the first time that you listen to a record in a meadow, you don't have to do it again. And there's only the joy of doing it and the decision of doing it that lies between the player that does something like plant cherry trees wherever they go because they're pretty, and a player that builds a beacon because they need an achievement for building a beacon, for example. But I would say, you know, because I like being right, that neither one of those styles is legitimate or illegitimate on the face of it, right? Because choosing to treat a game like a set of directions that you're supposed to follow is not my way of doing it typically, but it's not wrong. It's not necessarily even a flawed idea, because because each person that's deciding how they want to play a game is, you know, like the beginning of the sentence says, a person, and they're doing what they like. I do agree with you that it doesn't make sense to me personally why Minecraft, but also there are material considerations, we could call them, behind speedrunning games sometimes. Sometimes people speedrun games because they are popular to speedrun. Sometimes people, you know, not like they're bandwagoning it, but, you know, if a game's getting a ton of attention and someone wants to get some attention, maybe they'll play that. The world is full of people chasing the new hotness and trying to get in and on the latest trends. Not like speedrunning is ever going to make you popular, but I think the thing about speedrunning is it's very accessible, right? Often the games that you want to play are affordable, or you can emulate them in many communities, like I believe Pokemon just like lets you emulate that kind of thing. And I, as a person that finds considerable comfort in repetition, I totally get it when a person just wants to play one game, and yeah, I think it's cool. I think speedrunning's awesome. I'm not good enough at anything to do it. Not really. Mine runs a people game. There's a bunch of funny speedruns out there that only exist because people make them. I think somebody was talking, one of my buddies at work ages ago, it was like build an L or something. Like you just have to like build an L shape and that's the speed run. There's like some kind of sheep run. Tinyzilla, you say you want to go play just Raise Your Fire now? Do it, yeah, for sure. And like Natasha says, remember having fun, because I talk to people all the time in these streams, and like I'm like an old person, and they're often, you know, younger than me, but it's like I have to remind them to enjoy themselves, because if you know Minecraft back and front, you say you've been playing for 9 years, right? A person that really knows Minecraft can optimize all of the fun and the joy out of playing it. I hear people talk about starting and, you know, like, they're just, like, committing atrocities with iron golems, like, 3 minutes in, right? Like, that's how they play. And they just get, like, arbitrarily large amounts of iron. I'm like, no, you know what? You know how you have fun in Minecraft? Build a boat. Get into a world, find an ocean, build a boat, and just go until you see something cool. That's my advice to everybody. But if you're like born looking at an ocean and you turn around and you see a mountain like this, you already found your something cool. But you know, I've only been playing Minecraft like a year. And so my perspective on a lot of it is different, you know, than a longer time player would be. Because even though I've played like a lot of Minecraft in the last year, many hundreds of hours, I don't know how many, a lot of them, it's not like I know what I'm doing, right? Donatello pensively looking at the kelp as it grows here. We sort of mislaid Michelangelo, I think. I'm sure we'll run into him. If not, we'll hunt him down one of these other days. Oh, Natasha, I saw a chess video that made me almost understand the joke in the chat the other day that I sacrificed the rook, but I think maybe he was joking about the meme. There's some video my friend sent me about a guy cheating at chess, and then the dude did a weird, a series of moves that only a person following a weird computer and not understanding it can make right, and then like does this absolutely brilliant queen sacrifice that I wouldn't have seen if you laid it down in a book in front of me and said, find the weird move that's not mate in 4 but is mate in 5, and it would have taken me ages. And this dude who's not good just like lays out this queen sack, and then the creator, who I believe is the major chess creator, the Gotham Chess fellow, just like shrieks out, sacrifices the queen, and then, you know, I was like, maybe this is the reference. Maybe this reference is referencing the reference. But it was a fun video. As a person who enjoyed like chess problems and stuff as a kid, it's always fun to watch analysis videos, especially in the modern era of you know, the chess engine's superiority over the common man, which has been that way for, you know, my whole life, basically. But they're fun videos for me because I'm not like great at chess, but I have thought about it a lot in my life, and I can see a person making a great move when they just made a bunch of weird ones, and like it raises my eyebrows too. It's a Gotham Chess meme. Okay, yeah. I'm just like, oh, so the videos were fun for me. You know, they'd be doing stuff. I just like pause, and I'm like, wait, what? Nobody would do that. I should play chess again. I'm so bad. It would be great. Did I come in here without seeds? No, here they are. But unfortunately, it is a Friday, and you know what that means. It's a short video today. Hey, we got a couple of new villagers down there. I invite you all to sit, stand, or kneel for the national anthem, Creator by Lena Rain. Oh, I'm so glad Atropa's back. It's been so long. We gotta make the house bigger. We'll probably do that tonight. The gang's all here. Yeah, we need a bigger house. Chess stream coming soon, Minikman. You know, that would be super funny. I bet I would be incredibly obnoxious while I lost. No, if I stream chess, you guys would probably actually see me get mad. If I like, you know, did a move where I, like, you know, moved the bishop 1 square less than I meant or whatever, that's like real rage mode, you know. I flatter myself that I've never, like, knocked a chessboard over like you see people do on TV. I respect the game more than all that. I have accidentally knocked one over with my foot whenever I was, like, walking, you know. And that was the last game that my friend ever played with me. Because they wanted to be like, I beat you the last game we played because you resigned. They brought it up for like a year. Anyway, it's not important. I'm not good at chess though. I haven't played a game in, a while. I played one inside of a video game against one of my friends. But I honestly think I like watching chess more than playing it. It's too tense when you're playing it, you know, you gotta think about the time. Be like, oh man, is this like a Queen's Gambit? You gotta think, you gotta try to remember like all the thousands of things that you've studied. Chess is fun, but it's, you know, it's more fun to watch other people be good at. There's a lot of stuff like that in the world. But yeah, probably tonight we will build a bigger house here. It will look exactly like this house, and that it will be made out of cubes, and that'll be great. It'll all be fine. We'll lay down here. You can't hit F3 while you're laying down. I never remember that. Day 510 commences with another seed for Garuda and another gazing out of the window. I I know I say it all the time, but I really like it here. I have such a good time making these videos, and I'm glad you guys come and hang out with me when I do it. It really means a lot. It feels so cool to have people choose to spend their time with me while I'm just messing around and doing this. So thank you guys. Bye Natasha, bye Minikman, bye TinyZilla. Pleasure seeing all of you. Perhaps I'll see you later on today or in a later stream or video. Yeah, we need a nice view. Thank you, Natasha. I think so too. We need, some more work will be fine, but it's a good world. I'm proud of it. I'm glad it is the way that it is. So anyway, guys, see you. That's all I've got for you today.